Greetings. I'm going to read something off I wrote on Facebook with some additional comments about Alec Baldwin. I hate to say this, but I'm experiencing a little schadenfreude. Hey, Alec Baldwin, the great Eldersky really slapped you down on his radio show Friday, hour one if anyone wants to listen. I understand that you did not intentionally harm anyone and do genuinely feel bad for you. I cannot imagine how terrible you feel right now. Sorry, I wrote fell instead of feel right now, and I hope you are able to move past it. However, I am not surprised that an anti-gun nutter like yourself does not have the first clue about basic gun safety or the handling of a gun, whether loaded or unloaded. I am miffed that a man who is very anti-gun, yet you have made millions of dollars portraying characters who use guns in various circumstances. That is a head-scratcher. I am miffed that a man who is very anti-gun and has handled firearms on set many, many times still has this cavalier attitude while handling firearms. This is basic gun safety, Alec. Remember when Dick Cheney inadvertently shot his hunting buddy? Remember the ink spilled on that? If Alec were a libertarian or outspoken conservative firebrand in Hollywood, which there are a few of, this would be a huge deal. This would be used for all sorts of gun control, and anyone who is a Republican or libertarian gun owner would be slimed. This is what happens when nutcases get guns, they would say. You would see things like that. I think this situation is a good reason for anti-gun nutters to not have guns, and if they plan to get a firearm, get a concealed carrier, teach you basic gun safety, because anti-gun kooks apparently do not know it. What's weird, I'd like to make a comment about David Hogg. He was David Miss Hogg. You all know who he is. He thinks because he was out of school while a mass shooting occurred that suddenly he's an expert on gun control. So if I'm in a plane that crashes and I survive, should I become on the board, one of the board members of the FAA or something? Or I could go work for NASA now because I survived a plane crash. I'm an expert. That's kind of how stupid that, Stan Seder's another guy. I remember Stan Seder, if you're listening. I was going to say you spilled a lot of ink and bellyached about Dick Cheney. Remember when he shot his hunting buddy on Air America, but I think that show had gone, your little Air America show had gone kaput by that time. So you didn't even have a show. I think you were over on trying to annoy Lee Doran as the liberal viewer or something. You did that for a while. That was interesting. That was that Air America went under. That's after your career as a comedian failed because you went out to California and you didn't graduate from any school you attended out there. And I saw some clips of some of your gigs you did, and I can see why you're not a comedian anymore. And then you tried the acting thing. Of course, you talk about white privilege. Alec Baldwin, is his family and white privilege the reason he's been able to make all this money? Interesting. Your white privilege, Stan, is the only reason you got a shot at Hollywood or being an actress, and you blew that. And then after all that, then your marriage went under, which brings me another point about hypocrites. Stan, you used to spill a lot of ink every time a Republican got a divorce, and I'll have another video on that soon. But you don't do that anymore. Is that because about 4.5 years ago, your ex-wife said, Stan, you're going to live somewhere else? I think so. So, when people like Stan Seder and Alec Baldwin talk about firearms, Stan doesn't even have a firearm. Alec Baldwin apparently has handled them before, but still doesn't know how to use them. So, it's just kind of hypocritical. But, watch Alec Baldwin blame the gun. That's interesting. Have a nice day. I do need to add this. Usually I do this in one cut. Democrats are all obsessed about guns, but see the links underneath the video, of course. I'll link to all these. My Old Fart Rants debunked page, I won't link to the thing about... Yeah, I will, never mind. I'll link to the little rant I did about Alec Baldwin there. And another thing, see the pinned post on that page. I'll link to that. If you guys are obsessed about guns, I hate to tell you, but the most common form of homicide in this country is a black man or a black person killing another black person. So you're all upset about guns. It's not white militias. And the biggest threat to a young black man in Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, Flint, Camden, Gary, St. Louis, East St. Louis is not white militia members or the cops. It's other young black men. So your anger about guns, kind of misplaced. Of course, some of them actually know that because I've told them. Larry Elder did remind me of one thing. This was back in 2017. A cop shot another person, and I wish I could remember. I think this is September of 2017. And didn't Alec Baldwin say something about, I wonder what it would be like to kill somebody? I can't remember the exact phraseology he used. I'll find it and post a screenshot of that for you. But Larry Elder said, Alec, you don't need to wonder about that anymore.